Senator Ahmed Lawan has emerged as the president of the 9th Senate. He got 79 votes to defeat his only rival, Senator Ali Ndume, who had 28 votes. Our correspondent, Terry Kumi, has that report.
The elected federal lawmakers, dressed in style, make their way into the National Assembly complex and into their respective chambers. In the Red Chamber, lawmakers and invited guests, which include state governors and the chairman of the All Progressives Congress, await the arrival of the clerk of the National Assembly. At exactly 10 a.m., he walks in the company of the clerk of the Senate. Then he reads the proclamation of President Muhammadu Buhari on the 9th Senate.
In exercise of the powers bestowed upon me by Section 64(3) aforesaid, and of all other powers enabling me in that behalf, hereby proclaim that the first session of the 9th National Assembly shall hold at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, 11 June 2019 in the National Assembly, Abuja.
After that, it's time for the elections, and the clerk informs the senators-elect of the method of voting, which sparks an uproar from some lawmakers.
The modalities for today is clearly spelled out in our standing order. Orders 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the Senate Standing Order 2015 as amended.
The 2015 Standing Order says the elections should be conducted using the secret ballot system, but some lawmakers want the open ballot system, amid calls from the senators to obey a court order for the elections to be conducted using the open ballot system. The clerk explains that he is yet to be served the order.
I need to remind that the only business of today is the election and the oath taking. And by virtue of the fact, no question is entertained, no motion shall be made. But however, as a mark of respect, I think your question is whether I received any court order, and my answer is no.
Then nominations are called in, and two former majority leaders of the Senate from the majority All Progressives Congress are up against each other.
The story we are supposed to tell tomorrow is that we have been able to work together, we have been able to achieve together.
This Senate is an arm of government that is deliberately created to work interdependently and harmoniously with the executive. Senator-elect.
Then voting begins and goes on smoothly for about an hour. When the votes are counted, Ahmed Lawan emerges winner.
Senator-elect Ahmed Ibrahim Lawal, 79 votes. Senator-elect Muhammad Ali Ndume, 28 votes.
He is congratulated by his opponent and colleagues. Then he presents himself to be sworn in.
Distinguished senators-elect.
The next election is that of the Deputy Senate President. First to be nominated is the man accused by senators in the 8th Assembly of being responsible for the invasion of the Senate, which led to the snatching of the mace in 2018, Senator Ovie Omoagege. He is up against the immediate past Deputy Senate President, Ike Ekweremadu, whom until now had not indicated any interest to run for the position. The votes are cast, and Senator Ovie Omoagege emerges winner. The Senate President delivers his first speech in that capacity.
And we are all back together in the spirit of one indivisible Senate, united in our commitment to work for the Nigerian people.
The APC has now avoided a repeat of 2015, where its anointed candidates lost. And it is hoped that a better working relationship will now exist between the executive and legislature. Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.
One person who would have loved to be at the inauguration of the 9th Assembly today is the senator-elect and the immediate past governor of Imo State, that's Rochas Okorocha. But he will have the opportunity of participating in the Senate's proceedings subsequently after he finally received his certificate of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The INEC National Commissioner in charge of Information and Voter Education, that's Mr. Festus Okoye, presented the certificate to Mr. Okorocha at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. After receiving his certificate, the former governor, who represents Imo West Senatorial District, told journalists that he's not bothered by the delay.
I've just been invited that my certificate is ready, and I've just come to collect my certificate. I take it to be God's time. And I've always believed that justice delayed is justice denied. But all the same, for the sake of our nation's democracy, I accept this certificate of return. And I want to thank the judiciary for doing the needful and for having come up at the time needed as a last resort to every downtrodden or common man in the society, or for anybody that feels oppressed. I also want to thank the INEC for taking this bold step against all odds by issuing my certificate of return, which goes a long way to confirm that the allegation of duress was unfounded. But just this is a delayed tactics by my detractors to have slowed down the process.
And in the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila has been elected as the Speaker of the House in the 9th Assembly. He polled 281 votes to defeat his sole rival, Omar Bago, who scored 76 votes. Honorable Gbajabiamila, who represents Surulere 1 Federal Constituency in Lagos State, was the House Majority Leader in the 8th National Assembly. Meanwhile, Honorable Ahmed Wase from Plateau State also emerged as the Deputy Speaker of the House, unopposed. In his inaugural speech after taking his oath of office, the new Speaker pledged that under his leadership, the lower chamber will be a house of reforms.
Oath of allegiance. I,
Hakim Olufemi Gbajabiamila,
do solemnly affirm
that
I will be faithful
and
bear true allegiance
to
the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
So help me God.
The contest for the speakership of this 9th Assembly is now over, and it's time to move on. Our country is presently confronted with a myriad of problems, and it is our responsibility as members of this institution to set aside political, ideological, and other differences that may distract us from the assignment the Nigerian people have sent us here to perform. There's a lot more that unites us than divide us. There is much work to be done, and we must now pull together, roll up our sleeves, settle down, and attend to the people's business. Whatever political party each one of us may belong, we must be conscious of the fact that Nigerians are truly desirous of good governance and are looking to us to be the agents that will, through meaningful legislation, combat security, poverty, corruption, and other problems and contradictions that have held our country back and stunted our development.
We'll have more on the inauguration of the 9th National Assembly in a moment, but let's go to other stories now. President Muhammadu Buhari and the All Progressives Congress, APC, have asked the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal to dismiss the petition of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is also asking the tribunal to strike out the petition of the PDP. President Buhari prayed the tribunal to strike out the petition filed by Mr. Atiku challenging the re-election on the grounds that it is fundamentally defective. On its part, INEC has asked the tribunal to dismiss the appeal because of the failure of the petitioners to join Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who won a joint ticket with the president as a party in the suit. 20 years of unbroken democracy in Nigeria may be worth celebrating, but to guarantee the nation's continued existence, the ruling class must work to address issues such as insecurity, poverty, and infrastructure. That's according to Malam Mahmoud Jega, the keynote speaker at an event organized by the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, to mark the nation's 20 years of democracy in Abuja.
Members of the civil society organizations and the academia converge on the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Hall in Abuja to mark Nigeria's 20 years of unbroken democracy.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Organizers say the event affords citizens the opportunity to reflect on life under the military. Some of the participants believe that there is urgent need to safeguard democracy, even though it has failed in some areas.
It's a 20 years filled with challenges. It's also a 20 years of positive. But it's these 20 years where we have to start telling the story that never again will the military come to power in this country.
If the battle of yesterday was to rid the military and get them out of our lives and back to their professional calling, today's battle is one of reclaiming our citizenship.
Speaking about the performance of the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, in the last 2 decades, the keynote speaker stresses the need for INEC to consider reordering of elections in Nigeria.
INEC should also re-examine the order of elections. I think it is illogical that we should have federal elections before state elections.
Both the keynote speaker and other participants stress the urgent need for the ruling class to address insecurity and poverty in order to sustain democracy.
Democracy in Nigeria can only be guaranteed by its own internal successes. The most urgent one is to guarantee internal security, because without internal security, nothing else matters. If Nigerians continue to die in large numbers, then democracy as a system of government will soon become discredited, and no one will raise a finger to save it when it is threatened.
We now must invest a lot of our time and effort in building a proper democracy where the ultimate end is the improvement in the quality of life of citizens. What is democracy without development?
Nigeria's fourth republic is the longest since 1963. It has stayed for 20 years and successfully conducted 5 presidential elections since 1999.
So let me invite Mr.